All right, guys, we are going to be reacting to explaining the nose ring theory. Seeing a lot of folks really went in to just even decipher or figure out this thing about females putting their rings in their nose, and there's a bunch of theories. This is the most popular one, so let's jump in and see what's going on.
Hey again, guys. I've got a fun one for you today that I think you're going to find interesting. Nose ring theory. And I just know that when I say that, half of you are going to be confused and the other half of you somehow know exactly what I'm talking about, even if you've never heard of it before. I will explain everything I've learned about this theory, show you some examples, and then give you my 2 cents on this whole thing. So to take you on the journey that I went down to get here, I'll show you the video that I first saw that introduced me to this whole thing.
So I'm 24 years old, and I've been trying my hand at dating men specifically for probably about 5-6 years now, in a serious way. I'm single at the moment. My boyfriend and I just broke up recently.
Oh my God.
And I have probably dated about
This person even had some rings popping between her lips.
4 to 5 men, seriously. Keep running into the same issues every single time I date a man, and I've been trying to really get to the root of what it is. And now I know what you're thinking. You probably have a type. I do not have a type. These men don't know each other. They're not friends. They're not from the same area. They don't look alike. I really do not have a type. The only thing that these men have in common is that they are men. I really have been reflecting a lot and trying to figure out what the root of all these issues is. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect, but I'm not the reason that any of these relationships ended. One of the
Oh my God. So she's not the reason why this relationship ended. Man, this is just some of this. It's never my fault. Never my fault. I'm always right? And it's always the men's fault.
main issues that I've come to recognize is that I don't think men are really socialized to know what it means to truly love someone, love their partner and care for their partner. Obviously, I'm not saying this is all men, but I think it's just not normalized for them to I don't know, I guess I don't know how to phrase it. What I'm saying, for example, is that every single one of these men individually has looked me in my eyes and told me that I am the love of their life, I'm the most important person in their life, that they would take a bullet for me, and every single one of them has treated me horribly, okay? I don't know about you, but when I tell somebody they're the love of my life and that they're the person I care about the most, I show it. I'm treating them accordingly. Part of it that really trips me up is that they believe it. They actually believe in their heart that I'm the love of their life and I'm the person they care about the most. I started calling it out. I would be like, you do not love me and you do not care about me.
Wow.
Point blank, period. Otherwise, you wouldn't be treating me badly. And they will argue and they get genuinely offended. They get offended. I honestly pity them because I don't think they're socialized to know what that means. And I don't know how to get it across in a meaningful way to them. They just don't listen. And I'll be like, okay, you wouldn't have done this bad thing to me if you actually loved me in the way that you say you do. That is not what love is. That's not what love is. When you love someone, you don't do things to intentionally or even unintentionally hurt them. Why is that considered love to you? I'm just I don't know where it's coming from. I honestly pity them because that has to be awful, but I can't handle it anymore, dude.
So in this video, this girl is describing her troubles with finding a good man. She insists that she doesn't have a type, that none of these men really have anything in common, but for some reason in the end, they always end up treating her horribly. And this led many in the comments to speculate that it must be something about her that is the common denominator.
That she's attracted to very toxic guys. That's what it is. She's attracted to toxicity. Yo, just look at her face, man. She has a nose ring. She has some rings that pop between her lips, like a damn fangs or something. She's still living this Peter Pan kind of thing. She's not a wife material, guys. She's not wife material at all. But somehow we're gonna sit down here to pretend, of course, guys. Pretend And somehow she's wife material. Get the hell out of here.
And
man, that
unfortunately,
bullshit, man.
since it's such a short TikTok video and we don't really get much insight onto greater parts of her personality, and she's not very open about what her most major flaws are to figure
Seltzer.
out why she's attracting such mean men or why her relationships are always driven to turmoil, people began to theorize, because it's one of the most noticeable things about her, that it could potentially have to do with the amount of piercings she has.
Yeah.
In fact, these two comments right next to each other say, the piercing theory is so true, with over 700 likes. And again, don't know, don't care, nose ring theory, with over 1,200 likes. So you might be wondering, like I did, what about having a bunch of metal in your face would cause someone to treat you poorly? I mean, sure, the style isn't everyone's type, but these men were clearly attracted enough to her to date her, so then what is it that's causing the relationships to not go well? So I decided to look into what these men were referencing when they talked about the piercing theory or the nose ring theory. And this was the top video I found.
Have y'all ever heard of the septum piercing theory? If you have a septum piercing, you may not...
You want to you can already tell. You can already tell, man, the vibes, look at the nose, and the way she's just putting her angle towards the phone. Make sure you can see that piercing, man.
Look it up. But I'm always the last person to hear about shit. So, this is common knowledge. It's dead ass. It's actually dead ass. Because it says that every person that has a septum piercing makes their trauma their entire personality.
There we go. There we go. That's it, guys. That's it. So every time that you see a person piercings in their face at this level,
emotional damage.
you have to run. You cannot simply waste your time even entertaining people like this. If you do, and don't start complaining if you have some demons and some stuff, you know, some weird ghosts just going around your own apartment, man. Yeah, there's some. Look at her. Look at her. You know what? Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. We can do this. Yep. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We're going to use that for the thumbnail.
And she agrees? It's
What
dead
the
ass.
hell, bro?
Like I said, dead ass.
Damn.
Damn, straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
Or maybe I should say straight from the bull's mouth. You know, because you get it. And if even the person
weak.
with the nose ring is saying
weak.
it's true, I mean, there's gotta be something there. And this is just even more hilarious when we take that theory and then reference back to the first video where the
Look at that,
girl
bro.
was making her relationship trauma her entire personality. Okay, that might have been a little reductive. After all, it was just one video. Surely her entire profile isn't like that.
Yo, you guys never told me how cool it is to have a dad. Like, this is a secret that's been kept from me, okay? I grew up with 3 moms. My mommy issues are...
She never had a chance, guys. I'm sorry. She never had a chance, guys.
Snake, are you okay? Snake? Snake!
She's gone, man. She's gone. Never had a chance. For her to just even go back to 0 and just find even a nice guy, it's gonna take so much work, man. 3 moms, bro. 3 moms. Yeah, that relationship is gonna be, you know, trash, man. I'm telling you.
off the charts.
Okay, sure. I mean, so maybe she doesn't have a dad and has a ton of self-proclaimed mommy issues, but that doesn't mean trauma's her entire personality.
I have psoriasis. Not like a little psoriasis, like all over my entire body. When I tell you, my whole body looks like this.
Okay, so she has a bit of medical trauma too, but I mean, there's more to her.
Nothing normal can ever happen to me. I think I attract chaos.
Okay, so attracting chaos, it might be a little red flag, but I mean, there's gotta be something normal here.
Not to be a man hater or
Oh
anything.
my god. What in the hell is that? What is this? This. And then you complaining the type of guys that you're attracting. Look at you. You look like a damn vampire, man. I mean, the emotional damage here is insane. And this is powerful attention, guys. This is her way for coping with her own trauma, guys.
Actually, no, fully to be a man hater. Fully to be a man hater.
Oh,
Wow.
okay. I guess she also just doesn't like men. I mean, you could have brought that up when you were theorizing on why your relationships with men might be going poorly. I'm starting to connect the dots. Now, when I first started looking into nose ring theory, I didn't think that I would take it seriously at all. I thought it would just be a good laugh. But the more I looked into it, the more I think that it might actually hold some weight, because I did find quite a number of studies that have strong correlations between individuals with a lot of piercings and tattoos and how they are perceived and who they attract. This study seems to indicate that people with piercings and tattoos scored significantly higher than those without for sensation-seeking and risk-taking behaviors. This other study that I found seems to indicate that people with piercings and tattoos, specifically women, scored significantly higher for extroversion and assertiveness, meaning they are more aggressive socially. This study that I found in Psychology Today examines how people with tattoos and piercings are perceived, and the most popular finding was that they are perceived to be more sexually promiscuous. And that
there we go. There we go. There we go. I'm telling you, bro. So it makes sense. So the more trauma a female has, right? The more she have, the more likely she's gonna hurt herself. And the way she does this is what? With tattoos, piercing. That's her way of coping. So this makes total sense.
Tend to attract people who are looking for more casual relationships than serious ones. And many other studies seem to point to people with piercings and tattoos having higher correlations with impulsivity and more experience with trauma and adversity. This study from BMC Psychology seemed to find a strong correlation between body modifications and people who experienced childhood abuse and neglect. And this one really stood out to me. This one found a notable prevalence of individuals with a high number of body modifications and borderline personality disorder.
Wow.
Now, this is not to say that individuals with piercings and tattoos are all degenerate problem children undeserving of love. I myself have a belly button piercing and an entire side piece, and I find myself to be pretty well adjusted and have had a lot of success in my relationships. But it does
relationships. You heard that, guys? You guys heard that, right? Relationships.
I find myself to be pretty well adjusted and have had a lot of success in my relationships. But it does beg the question.
So they just she want to talk with both. She wants to talk from both sides of her mouth, bro. Relationship. So you have multiple relationships. So that means there's something's going on. Something is going on. You thought we were gonna simply just glass over. No, we're paying attention here, guys. We are paying attention. Even herself admitted that she has these piercing and she has multiple relationships with S. It's not me. She said it.
To be pretty well adjusted and have had a lot of success in my relationships. But it does
relationships. You cannot make this stuff up, guys.
beg the question. Could there be any legitimacy to the nose ring theory, or is it mostly just something that jerks shout at people they disagree with online when they happen to have a nose ring? My ultimate conclusion? Probably both. Obviously, even with all of these studies and research papers, you're never going to be able to make a correct, sweeping blanket generalization about every one kind of person who looks a certain way. In the case of the first video we watched, where the girl is describing her issues with relationships with men, we know that people did at least initially find her very attractive, as she even cites at the end of the video that I cut off that both men and women have described completely falling in love with her. And when I first listened to her story, I wasn't even making any judgments about her physical appearance.
No, of course. No, you were not making any judgment, of course, right? Nah, you know what? You were blinded. You were watching her, and you just blind yourself, I guess. Man, come on. You can't even tell if right from the beginning, you can already make some judgment. Come on now.
I was truly waiting for the other shoe to drop of when she was going to describe some consistent patterns of behavior that might lead to all of this correlation. In her case, I definitely think that being a vocal man-hater was probably the linchpin in the disruption in her relationships with men, but certainly not all women with piercings and tattoos feel that way. In fact, here are some examples of super pierced and tattooed.
Yeah, but that's just, again, that's the exception. We understand. We might have some exceptions, right? But the majority, they tend to be like this.
Girls in very happy relationships with men.
Oh, bro, yeah, shut up, bro. I'm not, nobody's trying to just wish that you have a relationship with a person like this, bro. Like that. Come on now. Look at this. What the hell?
What is this? What is this, please?
Also, it's so fun.
Oh man, this is right. These dudes, man. These dudes are God, man. They don't even know it. They don't even know. They don't even know it. Yeah, guy. These dudes are done. You getting played, my guy. You getting played. I used to be a metalhead. I know these type of women. I know these type of women. They like to play like that. As soon as they crash down in one of these metal places, or met another guy, they're gonna jump ships. Because they're trauma bonding. There's no way, guys. There's no way you will go through life, hurting yourself if you haven't gone through a trauma, because you're trying to cope. You're trying to cope. Come on now. That looks disgusting, man.
Funny how they always go for the nerdy gamer guys.
Exactly, because that's the way. Probably the nerdy. They probably live. They're probably studying, or they're probably in the same department. Right, and the nerdy guy probably has a high status because he's very efficient in what he does in that moment. So she wants that guy. As soon as real life starts coming in, she's jumping ships. She's jumping ships.
This is what makes the nose ring theory so complex, because if the first video were to be enough to prove that it's accurate, then all of these other...
We get it. You know what I mean? You're trying to use it. You're trying to say not all of them, not all of them. There's some, I guess. Every single man she dated was a fault, and she was never built. Let me see if people can just they caught, but I just caught from her. Unintentionally hurt you. No one would do that to you if they love you. Notice that she gave no actual examples of what treating her badly actually means. Okay, the moment she said, "I know I'm not the issue, everyone else is," I'm not. Man, people are really simping in this one. Let me see. Man, there's a lot of simps here, guys. This is a case of stereotypes exist for a reason. Yeah, you cannot simply just glass over. You cannot do it, guys. Piercings and tattoos definitely indicates more risk-taking and sensation-seeking. I am highly risk-adverse, and the thoughts of doing any kind of body modification is completely unappealing to me. I considered in the past that one day I might get a tattoo, but at 40, I never did, and I'm happy about it. The mentality associated with people who are comfortable with loss of piercing and tattoos is a mentality I can only see as trauma mixed with attention-seeking. Good point. Yeah, man, that's it, man. That's it. I mean, let me know what you guys think, guys. I would love to hear you guys' opinions. I'll see you next one.